Our waking life is as much a dream as the dreams we experience while sleeping. Likewise, that which we experience in our sleep is equally real or unreal as our waking life. The only difference between the two is that more or less every dream is one single situation, happening, or challenge, while our waking life is one long, seemingly continuous stream of situations, happenings, and challenges. Our waking life merely seems to be more real than our nightly experiences because we distinctly remember it from day to day. If we had no way of connecting yesterday's reality to today's reality, they would both simply be two discrete, separate experiences, just like tonight's dream is a discrete, separate experience from last night's dream. Since we have the ability to convince ourselves that it was only a dream after waking up in the morning, we actually trick ourselves into believing the dream is less real than the reality we find ourselves in when waking up in the morning. The truth is, however, that if we pay close attention to all our experiences, we'll come to realize that there is actually no difference between this waking state in which you're now hearing these words and the so-called dreams you're experiencing while you're so-called sleeping. Fundamentally, it's all the same, and it's fully possible to realize this simply by removing the belief that it was only a dream. An experience is an experience is an experience. The only major difference between the various experiences, besides the fact that we usually don't experience dreams in a seemingly coherent way, like our waking life, is that the rules or constraints by which they function differ to varying degrees. For example, the rules of this waking life experience more or less always adhere to the rules of physics, with certain exceptions surely, which might or might not be accepted by the majority of Earth's population. Our dreams, on the other hand, has a wide selection of different rules which might or might not function like the rules in our waking life experience. You might be able to fly, move objects telepathically, create objects out of thin air, stop time, teleport, etc., just to name a few. Thus, even though dream experiences are equally real or unreal as our waking experience, upon close, aware inspection, they often function with very different rules. In a way, this enables us to have a wider selection of different possibilities of experiences to learn from than if we only could experience this earthly physics. This is, quite frankly, an ingenious feature of existence to maximize each being's potential for having diverse experiences. Utilizing this design, we get both the experience of a more steady, coherent reality, our waking life, where we can focus on long-term goals and develop deep relationships with others, while the so-called dreams provide short bursts of often intense, raw experiences. Surely, there are an unknown number of differences, but that's not the focus right now. On the contrary, the focus now is on the similarities and what they can teach us about our own existence. Because if the dreams we have while sleeping is fundamentally the same as our waking life experience, then we don't actually go to sleep at all. Well, we do go to sleep, at least superficially, but that's not the point. The point is the total sum of our reality and existence is a seemingly never-ending stream of experiences. Some coherent like our waking life, and some short and more or less unrelated like our dreams, connected by gaps of varying degrees of unconsciousness or unawareness, or simply rest between the experiences. Now, it's possible to remain aware even in the gaps, aka sleep, but again, that's not the focus right now. And this begs the question, Okay, so what happens when this waking life experience ends? You know, when our waking life human body dies? And this is where it becomes very interesting, because if all experience simply is made up of discrete experiences, some long and continuous, others short and separate, which consciousness experiences, then there's no reason why this should stop simply because the long continuous experience ends. After all, it truly ends every time you fall asleep. And the only reason you're able to tell yourself, aka believe, you didn't actually die the night before, is because you came back the next day with a memory of what happened yesterday. Even if you already had another experience, a dream, stuck in between these two seemingly related experiences. Furthermore, it's not uncommon to experience dying in dreams, whether we're killed, fall off a cliff, or a plethora of other possibilities ending in an abrupt, possibly violent death, feeling completely real as it happens, mind you, just as this waking life. What follows such a death is that we simply wake up in our beds, telling ourselves, because we have the memory of the previous waking life day, that it was only a dream. I have had an unknown number of experiences of being killed or otherwise died and then immediately reincarnated into a different experience, continuing the dream without even waking up in bed in this waking life. So, if you look closely at your own personal experience, without referring to memory and learned knowledge only received from within this waking life experience, you'll most likely come to the same conclusion. In our personal, directly observable experience, we simply have a bunch of experiences, only separated by a seeming restful blackness, sleep, if you will. And the only reason we label some of these experiences as more real than others is because we have learned from a young age from other people, simply characters in one of our more persistent dreams, really, that the short experiences are not real, while the long experience is real. However, what direct observation of your personal reality might uncover is that you as consciousness simply experience a seemingly eternal stream of various experiences, some more logically structured than others, but all providing opportunities to learn and grow as a being. So it's pertinent to ask, what happens when we die? Well, in direct experience then, there is no death at all. When this long, continuous experience ends, it will simply be replaced by another, potentially long, continuous experience. You are beyond experience. All experiences come and go. You do not. Dreams or waking life doesn't exist. A meaningless distinction that merely seemed to matter while transfixed in this particular waking life experience. In the end, they're all simply experiences happening within your consciousness while you remain fundamentally untouched. Don't believe me? Good. Check it out for yourself. Be a scientist of your own experienced realities. You see, nothing is actually hidden. We can ever merely convince ourselves something is real that isn't. And a hallmark of realizing what's real or not is to be aware of which attributes of your personal experience always is present no matter what experience you have, and which disappear. For example, who you take yourself to be in this waking life, often, but not always, disappear from your memory while having so-called dreams. Instead, you're simply you, nameless, ageless, just an experiencer. The idea that it's a dream while your waking life is not a dream often does not exist while in a dream, unless you're having a very lucid dream, meaning your waking life memory and intellect is more or less intact, where you're able to recall experiences unrelated to your current experience. And the list goes on and on. Point being, when you find what's consistently present, no matter what you're experiencing, then you find what survives death. All else change and is specific only to any given experience you're having in the moment. This is one of the paths to realizing what you truly are. Good luck.